How you organize your study notes or lecture notes can set you up for success in both your assessments and your exams. I use the same method for organizing all of my notes for my undergraduate, for my PhD, and now as a lecturer, I do the same method for my research notes. There's two main ways that tend to work really well for university. The first is where we organize it by time. So when you're in a particular class, like Earth Science 101, you might break up your notes by lecture notes week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. That works great for certain degrees or classes. It makes it really easy to find the information, especially if you want to then also link it with the information that you have from a handout from your lecturer or notes from your practicals or clinics or any other sort of tutorial situation. You can then link all of those together from week 1 and then week 2 and so on. That can be a great way to organize your notes. Another way, which can be more helpful when it comes time to exams and studying and not just your assessments, is where you organize your notes by theme. Using our example of earth sciences, potentially your first topic might be earthquakes and then the next one's volcanoes. You would separate your lecture notes under those topics. That's really helpful compared to doing it by time, because any required reading that you do, you can then insert any notes you want on the specific topic that it relates to. Because sometimes what happens is the required reading, for example, in week 1 has nothing to do with the lecture material from week 1. It might be to do with week 2, or it might be to do with a practical. And so by arranging it by topic, you can shift that information around. That is helpful when it comes time to studying for your exams, because we tend to understand information better when we're just looking at one particular topic at a go. Whereas when you come to exam time, studying by weeks doesn't really make sense, or it's not overly helpful. Whichever one you choose to use, there's a few key points that can be really helpful for both assessments and exam time. Number 1, always use headings. So within your main topic or your week, whatever you have, you want to break that up into headings, because every lecture has lots of subtopics within it. So have a heading, then have subheadings. Use bullet points as much as possible. Use your own abbreviations or shorthand, as long as you're going to remember what that is. But the cleaner your notes are, the less paragraph form you have, the more useful your notes are. By using bullet points and connecting things and having a hierarchy order like that of heading and subheading 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you need, it makes it easier for you to read later. Remembering when it comes time to an assessment, odds are you're going to Control or Command F, search for a topic within your notes, and then you're going to be able to access that information quickly and apply it to your assessment. Or if you want to study it, like we said, for exams, you can also find it easily. It's unlikely that you're ever going to study your note if it's in heavy paragraph form. When we're studying, we're looking for key pieces of information that we want to understand and then remember so that we can apply it later. We're not looking for all of that information in paragraph form. You can also color code your lecture notes to help you differentiate different kinds of information. And that's what I did throughout my undergraduate degree, and I found that really helped when it came time for exams. So I would use different colors for different types of information. For example, definitions versus an example or a case study. And then the other thing is you really want to make sure that you have at least 2 copies of your notes. You want to have ideally one on your computer and then one definitely saved to the cloud, because computers die, hard drives die, right? I've seen so many cases on campus with students dropping laptops and they're smashed and they can't get that information back no matter how they've tried. Or hard drives and they work day after day and then the next day you plug them in and they don't work anymore. So no matter what, always have a copy saved to the cloud. Whichever way you choose to organize your notes, for example, by time or by theme, and whether or not you use a color coding system, I just suggest that you stick with that method for an entire semester or trimester before you change it. You really want to keep it consistent all the way through to make sure that it's useful for you.